But you'd have to do your homework to decide which attorney am I going to hire to defend my entire retirement portfolio and my financial assets. You'd want to make sure that you got the right guy.
Yeah.
Known as the biggest town you'll ever experience, with its unique historical background, Tulsa is home to a diverse range of people and businesses with a thriving economy, delicious eats, nightlife, and entertainment for all ages. Tulsa is also home to business titans, entrepreneurs, artists, and foodies. Whether you're considering a move to Tulsa or just wanting to learn more about the place you call home, the Tulsa is Home podcast is for you.
Welcome to another episode of the Tulsa is Home podcast. Today we get to sit down with Daniel Parker with State Farm, and we're going to talk through some of the ins and outs of insurance and how he got started in it and kind of the background and history. But first, let's talk about where you're from, family, hobbies, and I'll just open-ended question and let you kind of run with it.
Sure. I grew up in construction. Was my grandparents and my dad both owned construction companies. So we moved all over the country. By the time I was 18 going to college, I lived in 7 or 8 different states. So just as you're following different construction projects, you keep moving. And it was a negative and a plus benefit at the same time. Negative is you're always moving and changing schools. The positive is you got to meet a lot of great people and learn how to interact with people from different backgrounds and environments. Really was a great way to come to Tulsa when I went to Oral Roberts University back in '95. I got a partial scholarship there. And Tulsa is a melting pot of not only America, but an international melting pot. So I felt like that upbringing really set me up well for making friends and being able to relate with a lot of people from diverse backgrounds.
Awesome.
So
the scholarship, was it academic or sports?
It was an academic
Okay.
scholarship. They had some really challenging, strict standards to keep it. I kept it most of my undergraduate, lost it partway through, but it was a blessing to be able to get some assistance going to college.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And tell us about your family.
I am married to Jennifer. She is a Tulsa native, born and raised, and I have 4 kids. Caleb, he is 14, Evelyn's 12, Lydia's 10, and Isaiah's 8.
You're busy.
We have a very busy, rowdy household.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What got you into insurance in the first place?
You know, I went to college, and I was always had a passion for science. So I thought, you know what? I'm really smart. I'm going to pursue a degree in biomedical chemistry, and I loved every aspect of it. But it wasn't a great way to provide for my family. So sitting down, talking to a older friend of mine, and he said, well, what did you love about science? What got you into that field? Why did you pursue that degree? And it was really my love for problem solving, seeing a problem and finding a solution to it. And that led to finance and working in the mortgage industry. And then delving into learning about financial planning and investments.
Okay.
And it really is all about problem solving. And then I was able to combine that with my background in construction and the understanding of finance to really be able to learn how to advise people well when it came to protecting their financial interests through insurance.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I know relationships is a big deal with insurance and just kind of just making, more than just a number, but the person, the individual. So that skill that you developed that you're talking about is crucial.
It's something in the moment I hated, but looking back on it, I'm quite thankful for.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
And then, so your agency, how long have you been with them? And then,
So I started with State Farm, started my agency in 2012 and signed an exclusive contract to represent State Farm at the same time.
okay, good deal. And then what's your specialty? What policies do you have, do you offer? And not only just with, home and auto, but what else do you offer?
So everybody knows about State Farm and home and auto insurance. That's pretty common. Things that we also do is we are one of the largest life insurance companies in America. Okay. We also sell a lot of disability insurance. So that's really important for our self-employed business owners and startups here in Oklahoma. A lot of them don't realize they need to look after those type of benefits themselves because they don't have an employer providing them. The other thing that I do is I help with investment planning. Yeah. State Farm is very well known on both East Coast and West Coast for their financial platform. And it is becoming, through some hard work, well known here in the Oklahoma area as well.
Awesome. What is there a situation or a maybe whether it's a claim or something that stands out in your mind through your career, like that was a challenging one?
Sure.
And that one was a fun one. Like, is there something that sticks out to you?
I think sometimes they're one and the same. When we have a major challenging claim season, where we have tornadoes or major windstorms or major hail situations, it's very much an all hands on deck when it comes to an agency type platform. I tell my employees that I'm hiring you for an 8 to 5 unless there's an emergency.
Yeah.
When we have a claim, it's all hands on deck. Everybody shows up at the office. We've had situation where people even spent the night at the office because we were trying to take care of customers to make sure that they had someone, a live person they could talk to in the middle of all the freezing weather in this particular situation.
Yeah.
But I like taking care of people. I like being able to give them a resource and provide a peace of mind to them when it feels like the world just fell out from under their feet.
Yeah.
So I see those kind of coinciding. We've had customers with fires, and State Farm Corporate will get a phone call in the middle of the night, and then they'll call me in the middle of the night and say, "Hey, Daniel, your customer had a home fire, and we think it's pretty bad. You might want to check on them." And it's sad and scary for that family going through that, but it's a great opportunity for me waking up early that morning, getting out there with some coffee and just saying, "Hey, we're here. I wrote the policy for you. I'm here to make sure that we pay out and get you set back financially." So even though it's emotionally charged, it's scary, oftentimes sad, it's a chance for me to actually show that all this problem solving is coming full circle, and I'm able to take care of you now.
Yeah, for sure.
I enjoy that.
Yeah. So something that we had talked before is, it seems like all insurance is the same until it's not. Until the claim comes in, until claim time. So can you speak more on that?
Sure. One of the processes that we like to do in our office is to do a insurance and financial review where we go over a person's existing policies, go over their finances and what their liability risks are, and then talk to them about what's important to them to make sure that we insure. When I'm sitting down with you preemptively doing that, we can make all the changes that we want to a policy.
Yeah.
But once you call me and say, "Hey, Daniel, my daughter was just in a car wreck," or "Daniel, we just had a church member slip and fall on our front sidewalk on the ice," that's too late for me to make any changes to that policy. So going through those details in relation to your specific risks as a client is extremely important, because that sets us up for financial success at claims time, knowing that we have already talked through what the issues could be. We've already talked through what the lawsuit liability could be, and we've adequately protected you as a customer.
Yeah.
I hate surprises.
Yeah.
Outside of birthdays and Christmas. So I'll try to eliminate all those.
Awesome. What's the biggest gap that you see over and over again that people need coverage on?
The biggest one over and over again really comes down to liability protection. Most people come to me and say, Daniel, give me a quote on my auto insurance and home insurance. And we go through and we quote something similar to what they have. And then one of the questions we often ask is, hey, Roderick, why did you choose 100, 300 on the liability for your car? Why did you choose 300,000 liability on your home? And I get one of two answers. One is, I don't know, it's what the other agent quoted for me. Or it's the question or the answer, my dad had it. That's what was on my car when I first started driving. So I figured if it was good enough for Dad, it was good enough for me. What the client doesn't often understand is that their liability risk has nothing to do with their parents.
Yeah.
It is, what am I protecting for you? And really, it's your net worth value. We want your liability protection to be equal to or slightly larger than your net worth, so that if you're ever sued because of an accident, that it's State Farm's dollars that are financially at risk. And it's State Farm's attorneys that are the ones doing the defense of those dollars. Not you personally, and not you risking your entire retirement future on your own.
Yeah, that's really good. That's what stood out to me was the lawyer part. I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah.
Like, you provide the representation because it's State Farm's assets that are on the line now at that point.
You think about it, you're a highly connected person here in the Tulsa market. But you'd have to do your homework to decide which attorney am I going to hire to defend my entire retirement portfolio and my financial assets. You'd want to make sure that you got the right guy.
Yeah.
Well, State Farm's a big enough client that they have those type of people ready and waiting in the wings because they know they're going to have to defend folks and take care of them. And that is just a great peace of mind to me.
Yeah, for sure.
As a agent and as my own customer.
Awesome. What is the magic number, or if is there, for how long someone has been with their insurance company, that maybe discounts have fallen off, or whether just rates have slowly increased over time? Is there like a 3-year, 5-year, like, for basically time for people to get
You mean
quotes?
when the introductory bonus or the discount fell off?
Yes.
Yeah. Usually that is after a major claim season in the area in Oklahoma here, or after that 1 to 3 year period. Many insurance companies have an introductory promo that they run, and it falls off after the first renewal. So at your cars, it might be 6 months. At your home, it may be 1 year, and you'll see a sudden spike in your insurance. That's a great time to reach out to us and say, hey, here's my home, here's my auto insurance currently. Would you help me with a comparative quote, and would you make any recommendations on what I should change based on my individual circumstances?
Yeah. And something I learned about State Farm was the discounts. You don't prioritize the new customers. You want to provide your existing customers long-term care and discounts. So that was something that was
when we
unique.
find a customer that we like and aligns with our business philosophy, we want to make sure that we retain them if at all possible. And one of the ways that we do that is through our pricing that improves over time.
Yeah, which is unique.
It is unique. It's always great when you have a customer that says, hey, Daniel, I'm going to go out and shop you. I've been a customer of yours for 15 years. Somebody told me I always need to reprice my insurance. And then they come back and said no one was even close.
Yeah.
So I get testimonials like that. That's fun. It's great when you have a claims referral that says, hey, great job. It's also a lot of fun when you have somebody says, nobody could even come close to touching your price.
Yeah, that is nice. So people listening or watching, and insurance is one of those things that you never really want to think about it until it's time to use it.
Yeah.
And so when things are great, people are, it's fine,
Yeah.
What is your call to action for them? Why should people reach out when things are fine now?
Right. It's the thing that we touched on previously. All insurance isn't created equally, meaning that you may have a home policy or you may have an auto policy, but it will not do everything that my policy will do or could do. Second is to have the difference between having a professional insurance advisor like myself or my team review your policies based on your individual risk versus having a call center college student who has an insurance license just filling out a spreadsheet and say, here's what we pitch to every single customer. That is a massive difference. I have called into those 800 numbers that can get you a price within a certain amount of time and things like that. And they have quoted me state minimum liability of $25,000 coverage for my vehicle, which is grossly inadequate for my current financial needs and risk, especially considering that I am a business owner on top of that. So that is my call to action. If you want to make sure that your financial future is the risk is mitigated as much as possible, you need to have an advisor that you talk with.
Yeah. And I like how you handle it with, all basically handling the big picture, every aspect of risk management and, insurance and all the different types that you can. And you're very personal with it. That's the key, and that's what stands out to me with other agents is.
It's really critical that I can communicate with you in the same way that you communicate with me, so that we understand you understand what I'm providing for you. I'm not talking down to you, but it may be a new area that you're unfamiliar with. So many people in our area have trusts in place to take care of their financial future, leaving a legacy. But the insurance that they have doesn't protect that trust. And there's just these little nuances of the way Oklahoma law is written that if you're not a professional in your field, your customers aren't being taken care of.
We've touched a little bit on this, but want to give you the chance as far as your why. What drives you beyond business, beyond making, you got to make money. You're in business. That's what you do. Providing for your family. But beyond that, what really is your why? What drives you? What are some things that you support? And just in that vein.
Looking back on how my business has developed over the years, I've always been a very tenacious person, driven to do well, but there is no way that I can deny the impact that God has had in my success as a business person. My brother put it very concisely. If you really knew Daniel, knew his personality, you would be just as shocked as I am how well his business has done. Because I'm an introvert by nature. I'm not an extrovert, not an outgoing personality. I'm very authentic. I'm very in earnest. But I'm not that extrovert, just really gregarious person. So when I look at that, I am thankful, and one of the ways of showing that thanks is looking for areas in the community where God has asked us to reach out and take care of people that are either financially or situationally less fortunate than I am. One of the ways that I've enjoyed doing that is through something called the Care Portal that was introduced to us through the Tulsa Foster Christmas event that was put on in the fall. And what enables us to do is to financially meet needs in the local community where kids are either in foster care and the parents that are taking care of them don't have the financial ability to provide everything that's needed immediately. Because what happens, Roderick, it's where a family will be in the waiting list to take a child or several children, then they're usually emergency placements, and they don't know until the night before or that morning that they're about to get 3 kids under the age of 4. And by the way, they don't have beds, they don't have car seats, they don't have pajamas, all those type of things. And the caseworker can put onto this Care Portal hey, local children are needing these supplies. And individuals or business owners can step in to help with that.
Awesome.
The other thing that's really maybe even more impactful to me is reading some of the statistics on homelessness in America. And you'd have to be blind not to see the increase of homelessness here in the Tulsa area. And it was a very large percentage of homeless people that can trace that situation back to being in foster care and not having any type of stability or any type of parental figure and being outcast from the home at an early age, and that just has led to their current homelessness. So one of the other facets of the care portal is to be able to keep children in their home when the parents are good parents, but maybe financially aren't able to keep the heat on, or they're doing everything they can to take care of their kids, but don't have proper bedding. It's something that can be resolved very quickly by a business or another citizen in our town, and the mother and father love the kids dearly and want to keep the kids but can't financially afford to do so. So if we can step in and keep those kids with the parents that love them, what type of effect is that going to have on our community 15 and 20 years down the road?
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's going to be big, and I want to play a part of that.
Awesome. Yeah, I love hearing about that. And just in the second part of what you mentioned was, keeping that family unit together.
It's imperative.
Yeah, and so we've been a part of some of that foster family dynamic. Had some training and stuff with that, and that is a big deal.
Yeah,
keeping that unit together.
Yeah,
encouraging them, giving them resources that they need to get back on their feet, and that's huge.
My pastor said, you may not feel that God's calling you to particularly bring in foster kids. I got 4 kids right now. My hands are so full I can't even fathom having another kid in the house right now. But he may be calling you instead to support somebody that is. And I feel that this is a way that I can do that. God has financially blessed us and blessed our business, and it's a way for me to be a part of it in a way that I have the capacity for.
Yeah, awesome. So last question, going off of the Tulsa is home theme. Why do you consider Tulsa as home?
I have lived all over the country, like I said, but one of the things that I love about my wife is it doesn't matter what type of day it's been, I come into our house and it's a home. And there is a peace about the way that what she creates. I think Tulsa has very much that same vibe. Tulsa is about family. There is a peace and a comfortability and a safety in this town that I haven't seen in a lot of other towns. Now, they may have amazing museums that maybe we don't have, or some opportunities that we don't have, but as far as a wonderful family atmosphere, Tulsa has hit it out of the park.
Yeah, awesome. And we get that a lot, that answer. Tulsa really is, it's communal. It's the biggest small town that you'll experience is what we hear a lot. And so I agree with that totally. So who would be your ideal client as far as somebody seeing this or hearing it who needs to reach out to you?
Someone that is wanting to take ownership of their financial future. As someone that helps people with their retirement planning and financial planning, that is usually one of the lead indicators. Somebody has made some changes in their employment, maybe taken some financial classes, somebody that's recently bought a new home and wants to take the future growth and the legacy of their family more seriously, to make sure that they haven't missed anything. They want to talk to an expert to make sure that the concerns that could happen, or maybe risks that they aren't even aware could happen, are taken care of.
Yeah, awesome.
I love working and collaborating with people on that type of thing.
Awesome. Well, good deal.
Yeah.
Well, that's all we have for today. And
okay.
Yeah, I appreciate you joining us.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll do the the quick fire round here in a
Okay.
second. But
Sounds fun.
yeah, appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks, Roderick.